Alright guys, welcome back, and first of all I wish you guys a happy new year. Now I just loaded a previous ring that I made in one of my previous video, and I just don't have to redo this process once again. But anyway, now I'm going to load up a princess cut gem into our software. And now like usual, let's resize our gemstone, and I'm going to input 6 for 6 millimeter. And now I'm going to bring this into position to somewhere around here, or maybe a little bit deeper, because princess cut gemstones tends to be a little bit deeper. Now we are going to design our setting for our gemstone. As we can see, we have a princess cut, which is a rectangular gemstone, and like we always do, we start with a curve. So for this type of gem, I'm going to use the rectangle command, and I'm going to select center. Then I'm going to type 0 on my keyboard, press enter, and then I'm simply going to snap it at the edge of my gem, just like so. And now I'm going to move the new curve that we made into position to somewhere around here. It is fine. Then, like we did in the previous video, we are going to create a profile for our setting. So first of all, I'm going to import our side gemstone, which is going to be a round gem. And now I'm going to resize it to a size of 1.5 millimeter. Now I'm going to use my line command by typing line on my command line, and then I'm going to select the both side option and place my first point on the center of our canvas by typing 0. And for the distance, I am going to input 1.2 millimeter and simply click on my canvas. Now I'm going to select both of these items that I made and select my move command, snap the point at the end of our line, just like so, and simply move it into position and snap it on the side of our rectangle curve, just like so. Now I'm going to rotate both objects by clicking and holding shift, and I'm going to rotate it to a minus 15 degree angle. Now I can use the move command once again, snap the point at the end and simply snap it on this curve, just like so. Now I'm going to select this curve and offset it by using our offset command to a distance of 1.6, just like that. We are going to use this curve as a guideline, because now I'm going to freestyle a little bit. I'm going to use this polyline. Simply come here, close this open side, and simply draw something like that. Now I can go ahead and delete this curve because I don't need it, and simply select this curve along with the new curve that we made and join them together to create a closed shape. Of course guys, you can go ahead and play a little bit with the control point until you have something that you like. So you don't have to follow me, you can go ahead and try something else. Once we are done, we can do a sweep 1 command, and I'm going to select my rail, which is my rectangle, and for the shape it will be this curve that we made. And now I'm simply going to press enter and enter once again. Now I can press on OK, and this is what we have for now. I'm going to switch to another view mode so we can see better. I'm going to move our setting to a different layer. Let's say this purple, just like that. And now what I want to do is, of course, like array this gem around my setting. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the early curve that we made, which is the rectangle, and I'm going to offset this curve. I'm going to select true point so I can manually like place my curve dynamically, and I'm going to snap it at the center of my gem, somewhere around here. And then I'm going to do an array curve by simply typing array curve on our command. Press enter. I'm going to select my gem, press enter, and of course my curve that I've just made. So for the number of gemstone, let's try 20. And as you can see, there is some problems, especially at the corner where we have like an overlap gems. So I'm going to undo this action, run the command once again, and this time I'm going to try 24. 24, it's starting to get close. Alright guys, I found 16 will be the maximum gems we can fit on this setting without like messing up the corners and having some overlapping gemstone. However, like 16 is a little bit loose, as you can see, and we might have to resize our gemstone. Alright, let's do it again, and I'm going to show you how to resize your gemstone. I'm simply going to select my diamond, and I'm going to go into my box edit tab, and I'm simply going to scale down the size of my gems slightly lower at a diameter of 1.2 millimeter. Alright, now we can go ahead and rerun that command again, the array curve, press enter, select the gem, press enter, and select the path. And right now the number of diamonds is 24, which is perfect, and I'm simply going to press enter once again. However, as you notice, there is an issue, especially on the side of our setting where this gem is not aligned with our setting, and the reason is because our curve has those sharp edge, and to fix this we simply need to fillet those edge. So I'm going to go back once again, Ctrl Z, and I'm going to hide this setting first. I am going to run the fillet command. For the radius I'm going to input 0.2, and now simply have to select this curve and our second curve, just like that. Now I can simply rerun that command and do this for all the edges. Once it is done, I can simply select them all and join them together. So now let's rerun the array curve command. I'm going to select my diamond, press enter, select the path, and press enter once again. And now you can see that my diamond is perfectly positioned. Alright, now we can go ahead and design our claw. And for this type of gem, I'm going to design an L-shaped claw. So to do that, we're simply going to draw a rectangle, click somewhere around here, it doesn't matter. And for the size of our claw, let's input 1.2 millimeter, and same thing for the other side, just like that. Now I can go ahead and make a copy, and I'm going to press tab so it will like constrain to this angle, and I'm simply going to paste the copy somewhere around the middle, like that. And now that I have two overlapping square, I can select both of them and run the trim command to trim off the excess lines that we don't need. Now I can go ahead and join them together. Now I can select my L shape and move this into position. Simply going to move and snap it at the edge of my gem, just like so. Switch back to my front view. And now I can run the extrude command. For the length, just make it something like that. And I'm simply going to move up into position. Somewhere around here. Just like that. I'm going to select my prong and switch to another layer. So we are going to give a little life for our prong because it is like set too straight in my opinion, and we are going to give a little angle, and I'm going to press Ctrl Shift to select the top surface like so, and then I'm going to use the move command, and simply I'm going to move it a little bit out just like that, and then I'm going to select the whole prong and rerun the move command and simply move my prong a little bit inward so it bites into our gemstone. Maybe a little bit more, just like that, and now it is perfect. And now we can simply mirror this across the missing side. Now we can go ahead and design the bottom part of our setting, and to do that I'm going to use my control point curve, snap it on the middle like that, and gently make like an arc, something like that. And I'm probably going to move this point a little bit down like that, but this is like totally like up to you. I'm going to make a second curve just below our gem, and same thing, make a nice arc like this. And now I'm simply going to close the open part like that and select all of these curves and simply join them together. So of course, like, can go ahead and refine the top part like so, or even like move this a little bit down like that. So now what we can do, we can select our curve and do a revolve command. For the path, I'm going to use this curve, the inside curve that we made earlier, because this curve doesn't have like those rounded edge. And I'm simply going to type rail revolve, select the profile, and simply select the curve. Start of the revolve axis will be 0, and hold shift to constrain it to this vertical axis, just like that. And now here's the result. It like perfectly closed the bottom area, and feel free to adjust it, because like we have our history mode on. You can adjust it to however you want. And now what we can do, we can actually cut our like bottom part and create like some space. I guess this is how it calls. And before going forward, I'm simply going to hide all of these things first, so I'm left with the basket. Alright, now I'm going to use my line command by simply typing line, select the both side option, type 0, and simply like draw something like that. First of all, let me hide my basket first, and I'm going to take my curve, simply snap it at the end like that, simply like draw a nice curve like that, mirror this across the y-axis, and simply close the top part like this. Select them all and join them together. So let me do like a little bit like longer like that. Adjust the width of it. Same on the bottom part. Alright, once you have something that you like, we can rotate this into position, center 0, and simply like position it at a 45-degree angle, just like that. Now let's show our object, and we can simply run a wire cut command. Wire cut, select the object to cut, switch back to my perspective view, and simply run this command. Now I have like this shape cut it out. I can delete this one and simply mirror this across the missing side. Just like that. Right now we can go ahead and refine our setting by simply like adding a channel for our diamonds. And to do that we can simply customize like our main curve that we did in the beginning, and I'm going to show you how to do a simple refinement. I'm simply going to turn off this first and delete this setting. I'm also going to hide this gemstone so we can have a better view, and also this gem behind it. Now we can simply use our polyline, and I'm quickly going to do this and not spend a lot of time. I'm going to make something like that and mirror it across like the other side, just like so. I'm going to draw another line, simply like close this open area, and I'm going to hide my gems first. I'm going to select all of this curve and do a trim command and select this curve that we don't need, then join them together. Once we are done, we are going to rail revolve this shape right here, and I'm going to select my rail, which is this one, and start of the revolve axis will be 0, same thing. And now we can bring back our gem and check out the result. This is how we quickly like created a channel for our diamonds. Of course, like we can move a little bit our gemstone and even like bring this a little bit down like so, and position it to align with our setting. Now what we can do is to create some holes for our diamonds so they can like sit on it, and this will help like the jeweler to place the diamond in position. So to do that, I am going to hide this temporarily, and also hide this diamond so we can have a better view. And then I'm going to design a cutter by drawing first of all a guideline like that. I'm going to use my curve and draw something like this. We can go ahead and refine a control point, and then we can do a revolve, start of the axis, snap it here, press enter, 360 degree, just like that. Now we can cap this thing, so we have made this little knob, and then we can make an array curve. Select this spot and input 24 because we have like 24 diamonds. Simply press enter. So let's bring back our setting, like so. I'm going to hide my gemstone, and then I'm going to select all of these first and switch to another layer. Let's switch to the green one, because what we can do now, we can do a Boolean difference. Select my setting, press enter, and then use my cutter to perform our command. Now we have like made some holes for our gems to sit on, just like that. And now what we can do, we can design some prongs for our side stones. So I'm going to switch to my front view, and I'm going to use the line, start from the middle, press 0. For the length, let's try like 0.3, just like that. Take a line, simply like draw a straight line like this, and then use the curve to make a nice like curve like that. It's like this. And then we can do a revolve command, start off the revolve axis 0, just like that, 360-degree angle. So now I'm going to select my prong and simply move it into position. And I'm going to move it somewhere around here. And of course I'm going to rotate it to a -50-degree angle. Like that. We can make it a little bit smaller if we want by going to our box edit, simply adjusting those settings like that, make like 0.8, and we can make a copy of this. Press tab to constrain it and place somewhere around here. It is fine, something like that. Of course, like, feel free to adjust it. I'm not going to spend so much time on it, and I'm going to select both prongs because we can do a array curve once again. Select our path, this one, and press enter, just like that. So for the edge of it, we can refine this by simply like deleting this, like, and then I'm going to make a duplicate of this, and then I'm going to select the copy and move it back into the center right here. And now I can do a rotate command, center of rotation 0, and move it to a 45-degree angle like that. And again, use my move command to move it into like somewhere around here, or even lower, you know, or I mean even higher. It's up to you, but you guys get my idea, right? Then you can refine it, like put it a little bit down like that, and we can make like another copy and move this one on this side, just like so. Now we can mirror this across the missing sides, and this is how it looks. Of course, guys, like, feel free to adjust this, do something like that. And now, guys, that's it. You made your princess cut ring, and you can do like the same thing, create a channel for the side stone along with the prongs. But for this video I'm not going to show you because I've already shown you how to do this in one of my previous video. If you find this video helpful, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel.